So to begin with, I had a wonderful career, personal, professional life. And there came a time when I was tested, and that was immediately after the COVID period. So I was leading a great company in UK, everything was going good. And suddenly I started to feel that something was missing. I was feeling more directionless. I was feeling that things are not going the way I would want them to go. And then suddenly I found myself looking for a job. One by one, I was in a position where I realized that this is something which I would not want to stay with. And then came a period, somebody introduced me to Buddha CEO. When I came to Buddha CEO's session, the 40-day session, Chandra sir started to explain the art of meditation. I started doing meditation. And in a period of 1 week, everything started to sort out in my mind. I started to realize that the situation I was in was created by myself. And then because of this meditation process and because I made certain changes in my life. And one of them was I became a plant and vegetarian. Today I call myself vegetarian, not vegan. But I do not eat anything other than plant-based. That's one choice I made. The second choice I made, that I made it known to all my circle that I am meditating and I am trying to change my life. So with that, everybody started to then recognize and realize and support me. My wife, my son, they started to do meditation with me. In a period of 3 weeks, we were going through the session on surrender, the power of surrender. And during that week, I got a call from a company saying that, hey, we have a position, would you want to take this? And here's the truth. That position was not what I was looking for. But during that process of self-reflection, that meditation, I gave myself a challenge and I said I will surrender to it. And I surrendered. I said, yes, I will take the job. In a period of 9 days, precisely 9 days, the company called me again. There is a change of situation. Is it okay if you offer you a higher position than what we offered you earlier? And again, I said, yes, I will take the position. And I took the role. I was in that role for a couple of months. So I will go to office, sitting in a train. I use that time to do meditation. I'll come back evening in the train. I'll use that time for meditation. I will attend all the sessions which we were having. And my life started to really change, it like 180 degree. I started reading books. The first book I read during the journey was The Untethered Soul. The second book I read was Destiny and Journey of Souls, 2 books, because I was personally committed to change my life. And I took control of what I would want to be. I want to change and shape my life. Personal life, I had an accident some time back and I had a continuous pain in my upper part of thigh. And I never went for an... Now, when we were having this, one of the sessions where we were explained how you can actually start to make physical changes. And in that process, I was actually healed myself. It took me 3-4 sessions, and I can happily say that for now almost a year, I don't have the pain, and I'm healthy. My pain has gone away, and I don't feel any physical challenge on what I was having for a couple of years. Now, family-wise, because I started to travel a lot and I was not able to give time to my wife and to my son. My son was in year 12, as you imagine. It's a very important time of the year. One of my coaches, he said, "Hi Ramesh, how are you? What is happening?" And then I told him the challenge I am in. Guess what? This coach has taken up a job, his own company, to coach teenagers in finding meaning of their life and how they can be great human beings. That's what I was looking for. Of course, I started to consciously spend some time with my son. But at the same time, how the world comes around, how universe create and brings what you need. And he is his life coach now for 1.5 years. My son is really doing well. So if you have already heard or not, there is this book, Conversations with God. And one of the fundamental things which Chandra sir shared, that be the source of what you want to have. So I consciously started to make those decisions that I would provide to everything around me what I'm looking for. And there is suddenly a sense of abundance and everything started to go up. The finances, the love, the family, my son, my wife, my parents. So everything started to come so around. Please give yourself a chance to have this change in your life.
Happy morning and great evening for the friends joining from West. Welcome to Renew 40-day program, Excellence Through Meditation. Myself, Reshma. So I'm a volunteer at Vitas Quantum Foundation. So I always had myth that meditation is only for old age people or people who retire. But when challenges had come in my life and when external help was not helping me to resolve my challenges, my mom introduced me to meditation. So when I started my first 40-day program, as I was into corporate world with a lot of challenges or where there was no clarity, I had the severe back pain back then. So when I started meditating, by 10th day, I could feel that energy was flowing inside my body. And along with that energy, I felt that back pain was just went away through me. So that was the amazing experience which I had, and which made me to believe in this meditation, and made me to stick through this meditation. And when my energy levels was increasing through meditation, I could feel the things around me was changing, because people around me was same, just my energy levels increasing. I could see there was a calmness, and the way situations around me was very uh, I mean, it was in my pace, I felt. So then, when I started reading books, I understood the concept of this vibration. However you vibrate, that you attract the things in your life. So I started applying wherever I had challenges in my life, by changing opinions about them, or when I'm meeting them, instead of thinking what could happen, will they tell something, or instead of that, I started thinking positive about them or the situation, and I saw the situations was uh, in a different way. It was calm and loving. So whatever in vibration we are vibrating, we attract those situations. I have experienced in multiple situations in my life, and I still believe that. And then I always wanted to do service. So when I experienced all these things in my life, I thought this could be the best thing I can do, because any other service we do, it's if that is done, I mean, if we give some money or food, if that is done, and again they're back to that, right? So I thought this could be the best thing I can give to anyone. So because they'll be independent and they can solve their own challenges and they'll have that understanding. So then I joined this beautiful foundation, Buddha Siva Quantum Foundation, uh, with that pure intention to give this meditation to everyone selflessly. So after coming to service, I mean, it unfolded a lot, I feel. Uh, like, I mean, as I came from a computer science background, I thought I can do only with the coding or technical. But after coming to the spirituality, or we'll be open, like whatever comes in your way, like any situation is coming to you, only if you're capable of doing that, I feel that opportunity will open up to you. So I started believing it in that. So it came with the situations. As situations are going, I understood that only if something comes to us, only when we are capable of doing it. So like that, I have experienced in multiple things, handling finances for a while when there was a requirement, and now I'm working for content. So I feel we become open. And I also understood that when some challenges come in our situation, it is purely for learning. With that, the way I see the situations has been changed. And around people like in Buddha Siva Foundation always help us to be close to this knowledge. So whenever we are going on and off with our meditation or anything, this will, being close to the community, help us back to get back to that meditation and the wisdom. Yeah, I mean, yes, we'll share more going forward. Thank you so much. I'm ever grateful for Buddha Siva Quantum Foundation for always supporting all of us. And thank you. Thank you, everyone. So today, first, we will get into meditation, and then we'll have a wisdom talk. So yesterday, we have learned about spiritual laws, the theory of consciousness, and the theory of reincarnation. Uh, so after coming into meditation, so I strongly believe that yes, we have that strength. We know that whatever we think and feel, we create in our life. But I also believe in surrendering to the universe, and it gives always best to us. we have to do our best, and whatever has to happen to us, it will happen effortlessly. We don't even have to keep a strong intention. I experienced it in multiple situations. And coming to reincarnation also, after reading Soul's Plan or many lives, many masters, I feel that the fear of death has gone, and whatever situations is happening, we have planned. And uh, like for with our parents, we are choosing, we choose our parents, and we choose certain situations in our life. So because of that, I feel uh, when we have chosen the situations and people around us, I feel the way we look at the situations will be different. I felt that I mean, my anger levels has been dropped. Okay, if someone is angry at me or some situations is not going in my way, I started looking at the situation a different. Okay, what should I learn from this, and why have I created this situation? And if so, I feel that perspective has changed. And yeah, the spiritual laws will always open up a lot of understanding for us. So with this, I feel the way we look at the things will change. I feel that little knowledge when we get, I feel that the way we see things completely change. And of course, with the meditation energy, we'll have that strength to move forward. With this, yes, we'll get into today's meditation. Uh, yes, as everyone knows the process, I'll just emphasize once again. Just close your eyes, clasp your fingers, cross your legs, sit comfortably. Just observe your natural in-breath and out-breath. You can take any reference point in the nose. If you get any thoughts, just come back and observe that natural in-breath and out-breath. Even after like 4 or 5 years of experience of my meditation, I still get a lot of thoughts. But still, as Chandra sir always tells, that just be there. If 1,000 times, lakh times, how many other times your mind just go away, just get back to that. Observe that natural in-breath and out-breath. Let's get into the meditation.
The mind is becoming empty. Allow yourself to experience the emptiness inside of you, all around you. If you notice thought, go back to observing your breath. When the mind becomes empty, your body goes into coherence and begins to function at its natural best. become aware of the emptiness, of that blackness inside of you, all around you, as you merge into your breath. All emptiness is energy. The quantum field of infinite possibilities. We are less matter, more emptiness and energy. As you empty your mind of thought, you transcend matter. You experience that greater emptiness, that energy, merge into it. the longer you stay aware of this emptiness, the more possibilities you draw into your life, the longer you are in this field of creation, the more expansive you become, the more insightful you become. If you find yourself in thought, go back to observing your breath and allow yourself to slowly find that emptiness. Everything is energy. All experiences are here in this field of energy. That past, present, and future. The more you stay connected to this field, the more access you have to these experiences. Merge into this emptiness. Allow yourself to merge into the endless depth of that emptiness. This is your divine self. Recollect your experiences from the session, and whenever you're ready, with your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds, you may slowly open your eyes. Okay, friends, hope you enjoyed the session. When we meditate, sometimes, and sometimes for a few days, even the very senior meditators may not be able to go into meditation, meaning there may be too many thoughts, too much of distraction, too much of body moving here, there, some kind of unexplainable emotions coming. It's not preceded by any meditation experience, meaning you're not having any sensations of the body or any visions of any kind. Normally termed meditation experiences. No sensations, no nothing, and then no visions of any kind. But it just seemed like having too much thought, too much of some kind of a frustrating moment. You're not able to just sit down, cope, see, go into the thoughtless state, thoughts are kept coming, or unexplained emotion is there, which you feel then is causing you to not go into meditation. It happens. A lot of times that is also a sign of dissolving memories, unexplainable past memories are coming up to the surface that you're not aware, and so then body is healing. Suppose you have an experience where you're seeing some vision. During that time, let's say getting an emotion. Now you're able to associate and say, yeah, so there is something happening, some kind of memory I'm going through, and so then I'm getting that emotion. You're able to correlate and say, yeah, I'm going through a meditation experience. But if nothing happens of that sort, but you simply are frustrated, you simply something bothering you, but you're not able to sit down, simply have too much of thought going continuously. You feel like quitting. Recognize that they are also part of meditation experience / healing. You have two choices. When you don't know and when you feel it is simply thought, go to observe the breath, be patient. But if you are there as a meditator, you've been practicing, and then you know that it happened 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, it's happening. And the moment you feel that it could be an experience of meditation, and hence this is happening to me, witness it. That's the guidance we have, isn't it? You witness what you go through when it is a meditative experience. When you think it is a thought, an active thought from your mind, that's what it feels like to you, then go back to the breath. Either way, it's going to do its wonders. When you're witnessing a stream of thought that continuously coming, and you feel an emotion that's happening to you, and if you feel that this is a potential meditative experience that is coming to, there's something that is happening to, the healing is happening, that experience, like in the field, when you experience something, it's infinite in nature. You can't predict why something happens, you can't guess, you can't put a reason for it. You only go through it, observe it. If it reveals to you, then you know. It reveals to you means if it readily tells you something based on your context, you take it. That's the guidance, isn't it? When experience comes, and if a snake comes and it tells you, oh, which means I need to transform myself more, then you take that. If you don't know, and a snake is coming, okay, fine, observe it, right? That's the guidance. Now, snake is not there, but some fear is there. Some fear is there. You don't know why the fear is coming. Now, no experience of that kind is happening, but a fear is there. Something is bothering you, which is not preventing you from going into meditation, meaning the state where you think going to thoughtless state, but fear is coming. Something is bothering, some kind of feeling. When that happens too, without any associated reason of meditation experience, the way we think, the way we understand, then to understand that there also are potential meditative experiences that are coming there without necessarily having the cause behind that you don't know, that I don't know. So what do? We witness it. If you feel this is not a thought, this is not simply a disturbed mind today, or a contextually today I had too much of this and that, that's why it's happening to me. Do not conclude. If you have that under feeling here that this is just my thought, fine. Observe the breath. It's not thought because it's happening now 5 days and it is just continuing, and then I used to be just fine or whatever. It's not reasoning, but here you got an understanding that okay, I feel there's some healing happening. Then witness what you're going through, that emotion, that stream of things that are coming to you. When you observe them anyway, what requires to happen will happen, they dissolve. Observe, not analyze. That's the key. then what happens? Then either you're going to the breath, and so then you are, of course, slowly, eventually you're going to thoughtless state, or you're simply observing the stream of things that are coming to you. It could be a big series of movie story being revealed to you. Who knows? And so observe all of it, you witness it. What requires to be remembered will be remembered. And so they continue. Meditation is over. You come out. If you remember something, you feel there is something to it, write it. If you don't remember anything, it's okay, no problem. It happens. Six spiritual science principles we are understanding this week, spiritual quotient. Spiritual scientific mindset. We understood on Monday the 5 things that are constitute spiritual scientific mindset. Everybody is connected to me. The second thing is that I have infinite potential in me as per the field. The quantum field is infinitely potential, and so I'm infinitely potential because I'm that field. My thoughts bring that potential out. It's me who can create that. Whatever that's happening to me is by me. So then there's no more blame, no more complaint, no more judgment. It's only ownership. We take ownership to our actions, our experiences, everything, everything. There's no this thing somebody causing it. At least it gives us peace of mind. At least gives us empowerment to do something better. Then the fourth thing, that there is abundance for everyone, you and me, for everybody. And there's abundance. They work from principle of abundance, not from the principle of lack. What does it mean? It means that when you're doing some business, something or the other, and you're trying to book tickets for your train or flights, then apply it in daily life. Abundance, if it requires, there is plenty for everybody. And so operate with the principle and see what happens. You don't put logic and then say there are only 60 tickets, so only few can get. Of course, few can get. But work from the abundance principle, then the one who most deserves will get it. And if you are so, you'll have it. But at least if not, you'll be shown an alternative. There may be another extra special train, special flight put up, and so you'll get that. You got to change into the abundance principle. If not, then what do? We compete. We try to steal, we try to dominate, we try to manipulate, put my influence, this and that. Abundance. The fifth one difference is that we're not alone in operating our life. There is this intelligent field which is behind, constantly is aware of us and constantly wanting to help. His only job his only interest is to see how can I help. It's like a genie. It doesn't distinguish between what you ask, but then it is there to help. How do I know? Now, all of these are subject to while there is a field that observation brings possibilities into reality, that means there is something that's matching to our observation. So we experiment. Spiritual scientific mindset. But then we talked about the nature of personal reality. This is how we operate our life. Now, to understand events that are happening, various events that are happening, then we started talking about the 6 spiritual science principles. And we covered 2 of them, the 6 spiritual science principles. Reshma might have touched upon them, but then I'd like to talk through this and then go and cover today the remaining 2. It'll probably take definitely 20 minutes, means we'll be past 7:15 a.m. India time. Let's go through this. So the 6 principles, theory of consciousness. Everything comes from nothing, goes back to nothing. Everything is energy. Energy becomes matter through observation. You, me, or something else that may be from the field. We are here, then it goes back to that. We recycle back. I'm going to use the recycled word. May not people like it, but then yes, then we are going back into the field. And then we observe ourselves back again to come back, to have another experience, another experience, another experience, just like everything is changing and transforming itself. A tree transforms itself. A statue, a stone became a statue, and then slowly, it disintegrated, broke, and so it becomes again a brick or something to another house. It just transforms into a new form, a new shape. So is the case with humans. We do everything comes from nothing, goes back to nothing, and then so there's constant evolution happening from one to the other. Then you put that as the concept of reincarnation, and say I'm coming back into another form with another reason or a purpose. Reincarnation is saying that we're coming back, going and coming back. And every time we come back to experience something. A group of us together, we started one company to experience something. And then when that company requirement, whatever that we want to experience is over, we innovated, we grew it, and we had experiences. We acquired the wealth, that is what we thought we wanted to do, and then done. Then we want to have another experience. We group of us, there are some of us will transform into a new company, a new experience, new thing. Without my interest, I won't be joining something else. It's got to be my interest, isn't it? Only if I'm interested, I'll go into another company. I have an option always to exit from a current or the new, always there. I decide, not somebody else decide for me. The reincarnation is saying that we come here with our own interest and accord. And then take a life. In general, the principle of reincarnation is that your lifetime, you're going through a set of experiences that remain within the context, you remain constant. You choose a poor environment. And so then you got the whole lifetime generally experiencing, let's say, poor situations. Your design may be that you come through a poor situation, but somewhere you are going to have with your own hard work or whatever, then you become rich, and so it changes. So that's a design, you choose to change. But in general, things are like that. You come to a village environment, you are there. You come into a city environment, you are there. You are a female, you are a male, you are a specific religion. So this generally things don't change for the whole lifetime. What you experience. That's reincarnation. So we come and go, come and go. Jatasya dhruvam mrityuh. Dhruvam janma mritasya cha. Bhagavad Gita. Right in the beginning, it talks about in chapter 2, everything in the chapter 2 is only about how we come back again and again and again. The one who is born, definitely, Jatasya dhruvam means definitely will have to die. And then the one who dies will definitely come back. First part we understand. It's easy to understand that yes, okay, anything material is going to disintegrate, the body disintegrates. That much we understood, figure it out. But the one goes off, comes back again, reincarnate back again. Dhruvam janma mritasya cha. The one that dies is going to come back again. Reincarnation. How do you understand it? Yes, the field is the energy, everything is energy. Even in a field of energy, we are in the matter, as observation manifests matter. And so then when the observation is removed, the electron became energy again. So yes, the time we decide, and this is why a lot of people tell you, and we must interact, study, when you decide that enough is enough, I've done enough time on this planet, and that's the time where you start exiting. That's the time when you start removing your attention from it. Some people do it out of frustration without understanding because they're trying to heal. They couldn't heal. And they see that it's becoming a big problem because the environment, meaning the children who are to take care, the caretakers are not necessarily giving attention. They're also feeling like it's a big deal, what the hell and how long I have to do, to take care of my parents or my in-laws or this or that. When this environment is happening, some are out of frustration are saying, okay, enough, and then I want to go. Whereas some have that understanding without having that helplessness or understanding this science, this knowledge, spiritual science, saying, yes, I've come, I've done what is necessary. And then I feel like if I'm here, not necessarily adding and contributing of anything, Why should I just stick into this body and hang in there? It doesn't make sense. And so I'll go and then find something else. If I'm in an organization and then I finish learning, I don't feel that enthusiasm, I'm not learning anymore. I feel like I'm stagnated. Now, if you're holding on to the role there just like that, you don't learn anything. You don't have sweetness in life. You're simply dragging to work. You're going there simply because you want salary coming back. That's not the way to live. You know it. You're just not happy at all inside. It leads towards all kinds of illnesses eventually. But the one who is tuning in towards the heart, you say, okay, what the hell? Why am I doing? Why am I just parking myself here? Let me not park myself here. That's the word. I must go and then find my dream, whatever that feels like. And then I look at it and say, okay, maybe a job, maybe this company, that thing, you go. Then you start being happy again. You know this. Our spouses give us advices and say, what are you doing? Why are you like this, not happy? That's the time to question ourselves. So we change actively. Rather than somebody forcing us to go, we are changing actively. Forcing us to go is a job loss. Changing actively is we are deciding at our own terms and go. When you have that understanding that I must live true to my feeling, you will go. That's what reincarnation is saying. That's why some people go transition pretty easily. Many people are held on because they did not know this knowledge. There's only one life, so I have to see everything. My children have to get married, my grandchildren have to get married, my grandchildren have to have children again, and then I see all of them, then only I go. When that hour comes, then I have to somehow survive. Then I take on medication, I take on this, I take on that, and then struggle. Some points of view to think about, friends. All right. At any time, come and go, things can happen. Death to eternity. When there is no death, concept is understood through this, then it becomes easier to accept death at any stage. My family was devastated when my younger brother, who became his body in an accident, is a 23-year-old, tall, looks better of all of us, and has got some good build and done MBA and has just started his business. And then next moment in one of the accidents, he and one his brother both together vacated the body. One gruesome accident, road accident. And of course, my mom and dad were like totally, and one his parents' side. Devastated, there's a word. I had some understanding from the beginning. For some reason, my emotional things or breaks were not necessarily that too much or a little bit, but somewhere I know some knowledge and understanding was there a little bit. Dr. G.K. was fully into meditation by then he understood. He knew the soul signs. But many were disturbed. They come into meditation, come in to understand all of the soul signs, all of this knowledge, studied deeply, listened enough of experiences, they come to the greatest conclusion that his design, his understanding through which he came and then gone, and then we understand at some level one of the triggers is that entire family came into meditation. Sometimes that happens. You take roles so that somebody else becomes greater and greater. Is using saying that people take cancer. Is there they're playing taking a role to help others around them to develop greatest compassion, greatest caring. If caring and compassion are principles of consciousness, many properties of consciousness, when do we develop them? When we have opportunities to demonstrate. And so then sometimes people are taking those roles too. It's a role. Now we switch into naturally the principle 3. The principle 3 is talking about now reincarnation, law of cause and effect. The principle 3 is saying law of cause and effect. It's a role play. I choose a role because there is a cause behind it. I choose a role to help others be very compassionate. Then I choose a role to go through a suffering of one kind. It's an experience, remember. In an experience, I choose a role of suffering in that lifetime because I want to learn without a question in my mind. When somebody who needs that help, that I am there to help them, which I ignored to help in an earlier occasion. There's someone close in my family where I needed to help. I knew my heart was telling me to help, but then I got pulled away through my mind actions where I thought my travel is important, my job is more important, this and that, because through the mind, the survival instincts of many, many kind played a role. And so then I pulled away, even though my heart said I should give and then compassionately give my time for them, I didn't. That was the purpose of why I had people around me whom I need to serve, I didn't. Then I go, after my vacating my body, I go and then look at it and say, what have I done? I should have given all my attention and help to those persons who were just there around me, but I didn't. Why did I not do? I look back in my previous lifetime, the same thing. I went there to experience something, but I was not doing it. Instead, I moved into survival. I moved into this politics or whatever, the distractions. And so I didn't do what I came here to do. Then somewhere the realization comes. Then says, no, I'm not learning enough. So what do I do? Okay, let me take a role where I suffer too. To the extent where every time I'm going through the suffering as an emotion, I recognize and say, something like this should never happen to me. I come to the greatest conclusion when I go through suffering, that this suffering we never wish that somebody else or nobody else would ever have. That's the realization. Until the realization comes, we are there. The moment we realize and say, I don't need this suffering anymore because I can never do anything like this, what I'm going through to somebody, that means we're learning. We're learning the hard way. When we learn, then that learning there is over, because that is a quality they want to develop. When people around me, through my feeling, I feel I need to care for them, I must give the time to care, which I ignore. And so then I got to learn the hard way, and then I've come. So somebody takes a challenge to learn that they are definitely becoming caring and compassionate in a situation where they needed to have done, they were not done, so they come on their own accord, take a role of that nature. Now, whoever is supposed to be the caretaker, a caregiver for them, it's the same thing for them. If they feel that they need to support, they must. So that's how they develop compassion. They choose a person who is a sick person around them so that they can exhibit their compassion, caregiving attitude to them, opportunity to serve, opportunity to play the role greatly. But what do we do? Here again, we skip the point, we miss the point. No, 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 that job opportunity is so important for me because of my career, I worked for it. And so the mind plays, and then we ignore what we need to do, we go there. A role play is happening. So law of reincarnation is saying you take with a purpose, you come and then go. Now law of reincarnation cause and effect is if you fulfill your purpose right, whatever you come here to experience, if you do it right, then you are enabling that time everybody around you to play the roles right. You take a job in a company for a specific role, we say, hey, come on, do your role. I know you may do many things, you know many things, but do your role what you're given to. If you do that right, somebody else is given something else complementary, and then together the organization grows and you grow. Same thing here. We come here for a specific role, and then if you fulfill that role, there's no pending actions to be experienced, because then you are enabling everybody around you to also fulfill their roles properly, and they're also learning whatever learning they have in every situation, and so then they are naturally are together evolving, fulfilling best possible way. But if I don't do things right, if I kill somebody, if I violate somebody's rights, and if I interfere into their actions regularly, then we have a consequence. We have a consequence to play. If I, even though I'm a senior architect, or if somebody has got the role now, and then if I keep pushing them and say, no, this is the way to do, that's not the one, this is the way, this is the way, the other person wants to do something to fail and come back and learn, but you're pushing and then forcing them to change, then eventually it's going to complain about it. At some point, it's going to come up. as a remark on you, there's a consequence for you, if not today, in future. It's there. From a social system perspective, same thing happens. When we interfere into somebody where everybody wants their freedom, the junior is getting frustrated, mad, and then eventually you leave if you really push them. Don't give them the freedom to operate. As the same thing, when parents do too much pushing, you can inform, you can give advice, you can suggest, but there's not interference is the constantly. I mean, sometimes where even if you just suggest, if your authority is there, other person weak-minded are generally taking it. So it's a very delicate balance of when you give advice, when you don't, unnecessarily. When you know there's going to be an influencing in nature, we of course are very careful about when to give, and we wait, patiently wait, let them come back to you. But you're also talking with a group dharma. In the group dharma, when you say you're representing the whole group, not individual, then you are appropriately deciding based on feeling. But different. The cause and effect is saying that we come here with a role, purpose. You play that, great. Then everybody around you in a movie, everyone is playing the role, right? Great. As nobody interfering with each other, they're doing their role fulfilled appropriately. The director is saying, wow, you're doing great. Continue. You're not doing right, director is telling you. Director in our case is our feeling center. Our meditation keeps coming, bringing experiences to tell you to do what is right for you. Insights will come. Our feeling center becomes active. Whenever we're doing something that's not right, if you follow it, then we fulfill. If you don't follow, there is an effect to it. That's called cause and effect, karma. If I have to help somebody in my role, I've taken a role where I'm going to develop a lot of compassion and caring, and somebody around me has got the problem. They're showing up in front of me. My feeling center is telling me to take care of them. And so then we must be ready to go and then fulfill. So that's how then you are learning your following role. But if you didn't, then you have a consequence where you need to take care, you didn't take care, and you go. Then a reincarnation happens, then you're assessing. Why did I not do it? I chose to learn, but I didn't because I got swayed away by the Maya, the illusionary things of the nature. And so then, okay, so I must go back and then take another environment. No, I've tried 10 times and every time I'm failing. It's okay, then I'll take a serious environment where I will suffer. Then I know for sure that what does it mean to be receiving love at that situation, caring. And so then I've learned it fully. So dear friends, when cause and effect is understood, law of karma, it is not a punishment system, it is a learning system, number one. Nobody punishes anybody, it's learning. Even when I speed, when I get a ticket, it's not punishment. When I overspeed, I have agreed to be in this society in the first place, to live according to the rules of the society. I have agreed. Nobody asked you to be on the roads. You agreed to be here. If you didn't want all the rules to be liking, you could go into your forest and live there. Then you'll not get a ticket. You'll avoid situations. But if you agreed to a set of rules, then you're living within the rules because you have agreed. And so then you, of course, you fulfill it. So when you get a overspeeding ticket, it's not a punishment. You decided to be in the system. In a community where even if you go beyond 5 miles per hour, they put something. And so then if you spit, they suddenly put a 500 rupee fine to you. You agreed to live in that community. Nobody forced you. You could go into another community where such rules are not there. And you're fine. You can spit if you would like to, if that's what it feels like doing. It integrates into the nature. But once you are there and agreeing to a community set of rules, then you are abide by it. And so then, but what we normally say is punishment is not punishment because we are part of the system. We require certain group living, group experience. So accordingly, group norms are there. We are adhered to. So the fundamental thing of law of cause and effect difference is when we talk about karma, karma is not a punishment system. It is a there for us to learn to gain a newer experience, newer experience, newer experience. In one time, I come as a prince. One time, I come as a pauper to go through the situations. One time, I am a serious academician. Another time I'm just going through a set of experiences where I don't seem to learn anything, and then people are constantly giving me, tips and tricks and all that. Different types of experience to go through to learn. Once I'm into this AI job, computers, it's considered too much. Another time I will not do anything, I'll do something very, very basic. Today, when I say, okay, agriculture, anybody can do. Suppose, I'm just saying. And then computers are now this new technology thing was super. But one role you do that, another role you come to the agriculture to do agriculture. There is experience, there's nothing special about anything. Everything is simply an experience. Everything is just an experience. Nothing special, nothing is more, nothing is less. So you understand it and you simply are taking different roles, just like a good actor. What does a good actor do? A good actor wants to go through and fulfill all roles. And so sometimes he's a hero, sometimes is a positive role, sometimes a negative role, sometimes a comedian, sometimes, a different. That's what N.T. Ramarao, one of the greatest actors, and Amitabh Bachchanji, greatest actors of all times, have always chosen all kinds of roles because that gives them the kick, that gives them experiences. So we need to be ready to recognize and say, this is my role, and then I go into it, and then how best I perform, as opposed to, oh, this is such a sad thing, what is it? And I've got such a bad deal. My whole lifetime I'm struggling. Not understood. Difference, cause and effect will help us to do what is right to be done by us because we understand what is the role I come in to play. And so we do that. We don't do politics. We don't do constant complaining. We don't do self-blame. We recognize and say, okay, it seems like this is what I've come here for. I go through the experience. Go through it. You are learning through it anyway. At some point, the moment your learning is finished, it's going to dissolve. Not until that time. Law of cause and effect tells us that don't run away from situations. If you run away from situations, the situation is going to repeat immediately this lifetime. If you run away from a bad boss, you're going to have another boss who's going to be a lot more stricter. Whatever that bad means for you, it's going to be a lot more serious about it. If you run away from a company where you basically, if you're running away because you feel somebody is pushing you, not for your own terms, then you're going to we naturally going to come back to face similar situation elsewhere to learn again. Not until the learning is over, it doesn't dissolve. If not now, they simply postpone to future. Cause and effect. So difference. Then we drop the word luck. There's no luck. There's no luck. If we are the consciousness, you are everything, infinite potential, you're experiencing everything. So what's the question of luck? Not luck. You started somewhere in the past and so you got now. When we started Buddha Sequanda Foundation, in 1.5 years, thousands of people came on to do this. Now some people said, oh, what a lucky Chandra, there's so many people came into the foundation. Is it luck? I had my 25 years of practice before. So much of vision, so much of vision, there's so much of creation was happening. God knows how many years of practice in the previous lifetimes you may have. And then all of that shows up now. A company, when it becomes successful, is not luck. It has worked and worked and worked for several years where the founders thinking or what a management thinking about it, wishing for it. And so finally, at some point, it comes up. Creation is happening. It's just that it's delayed. Because consciousness is choosing the right time for everything to happen. In a way, you experience that thing outcome the best. When we understand it, we drop the word luck. I say, I'm a bad lucky person. I've got good luck, good fortune. Instead, we say, okay, if something comes to me, great. It's because I have prepared for it. We've been preparing, we've been wanting something, but that opportunity also needs to show up. So consciousness is trying to put combination of events. When you wished for a great promotion, right opportunity must be there so that in a way you enjoy it. And she's waiting to see what is there. Let the sequence of events come together. Here is a new special company that come up. This is where I need to place Reshma. She wanted that and she gets that role. So you have prepared for it by visualizing, imagining, intending, and then opportunity as the sequence events came to the formed, and then consciousness immediately gives. The child asked for a new dress. What does the parent do? Parent ignores it. If they understand and say, oh, my child is asking, they'll wait and say, okay, does it really matter to them? They'll wait. They say, second time and a third time and a fourth time, child is persisting. Papa, I need new shoe. Okay, so new shoe. Now, can the parent do it immediately? They will also wait to see the financial situations, whatever many things they consider. But then, however, they'll give the new shoe 2 months later, maybe, if not immediately. Depends, but they will give. So that's not luck. It's the preparation of the child, and then the opportunity showed up, and so then it became together. So everything difference is like that. When you expand the time frame, luck drops. When you look at it from a bigger time frame horizon, there's no luck. Everything is prepared. Problems become learning. This is law of reincarnation, law of cause and effect is saying. So first, we are coming back again and again from nothingness to something and going back. Second, then we take a specific role to experience a set of experiences in life. That we reincarnate. Now, third law of cause and effect saying, do your role right, do your dharma right, so that then you're not causing violence, killing, and then interference. There are three things to do dharma right. No killing, no violence, no interference, because everybody has their own role to play. You do your role, they'll do their role, great. So no interference. When I do these three, then we are doing a role right. If you do role right, there's no consequence. If I play politics as a senior person, then of course my company is going to shut down at some point, or huge losses come. So the consequence is there. Because of me, everybody suffers. Consequence, because what I need to do, I don't do. Now they suffer, there must be a consequence for them because of why that happened. But you suffering will inevitable. It's got to come, because at some point you yourself will choose and say, why the hell did I not do my job right? Why did I play politics? So different. That's how they have to be seen. And at some point, I come back. Now, the fourth thing is that constant progression. Here on happens pretty quickly. Progression is saying that whatever you do, you're always learning. Whatever you do, always growing in life. There's no regression. There's no failure. The failure is only within a certain time frame. Suppose in a 4-year college, we say, oh, this person is too intelligent or whatever, came out really very successfully, he did 10 on 10. Now another person did 4 on 10 GPA. Both of them graduate. Now, the 4 one, in that within 4 years, yes, he did not do right. So it's only, then you say, oh, he's a failure. You know what? I mean, he barely crossed through. He barely crossed through and then got his degree or whatever. And so is a total, failure, whatever. We use the word and say, okay, not somebody even worth working with. Because in the 4-year time frame, one is that, one is this. You know it. It's only that time frame. Now, 20 years later, 30 years later, the one who is at 4, you know it. The one who is at 10 on 10, perhaps, still at 100K per annum or whatever. Whereas here, this person is already earning millions. If your success is based on earning, and if success is based on a position, maybe this person is already running great companies. Other one is simply doing an individual some role somewhere. You know it. So now your time horizon is 20 years. It is different. You measure and say, okay, now he is successful, he's not so successful. But if the time horizon for the other person who is not successful, you put it 60 years or 100 years, you'll say, okay, he's greatly successful. Because everyone is learning. Situations, they're only temporarily. Everyone is learning and moving up as every experience is giving us a learning. So it's not that they're not learning. In that 4 years of time frame, that student is not learned enough for various reasons. But then he caught up 20 years later. And we see this. And so recognize that if you are going through a challenge, it's not that you are failing on things. A businessman who is a serial entrepreneur, 3 times he might have made, little bit, not necessarily great decisions or fail. But fourth time they bounce back, and we have seen several cases where a fourth time that thing is so good, they learned so many things not to do in 3 failures, in material failures. So what things that he should not do, and apply all of them in the fourth time, then suddenly he's got such a beautiful outcome. Then he says suddenly he's very successful. What changed? For 15 years, 3 companies he ran as such a failure. And then 16th year, he started something, became successful. You say, oh, it's a greatly successful. The same very media, same people fail you until yesterday. They say you are very successful tomorrow. What is the difference? Is it point in time? So, dear friends, we never label anybody a failure. We never understand, we never judge ourselves as failure. No matter what, we are learning. That's what is saying. Constant progression is saying that there's only a constant learning. So don't, and so there's never failure, there's only progress, right? Very important. When I understood this constant learning, every time, something did not happen, I don't know where I might have made a poor decision in my business, where a hiring decision, I don't know, higher incremental decision, whatever, I stopped regretting about things. There's only learning is there. Oh, maybe I screwed up in evaluating properly. No problem. I'll do it right next time. What do I do when I sit and cry and complain? I can't do. That's a waste because it's going to create that more. Then fifth thing, dear friends, is when you get to meditation or yoga into you, this knowledge, before this knowledge is introduced, we were constantly in this cycle of birth and death, cycle of complaint, judgment, constantly, continuing to create more negative reality, continuing to judge ourselves, continuing to look at and say only the positive side of life, never wanting to embrace anything negative. Only success side, never the failure side. We don't want to embrace only the good side, never the bad side. We were constantly in that only stuck, and then we're trying to push away 50% of experience of life. But when meditation, when this understanding comes, law of yoga or law of meditation means that then when you understand this thing, then you bring a shift into your life. When that something failure appears, material failure, you see it, you dissolve it. Oh, it's not a failure. Oh, something learning is happening to me. You take it that way. So you embrace the dualities and polarities of life. That means 50% only are embracing on one side, positive side. Now embrace 50% in life is the negative side, the other side. You embrace it. Now, when you are ready for that way, then you are bringing every opportunity into you. You don't say, oh, this is a poor job, it is a difficult thing, this is unimaginable, this is that. You embrace all opportunities, and so then, dear friends, then you start shifting where ordinary life becomes miraculous life. You dropped your limitation. You thought going to another country is a difficult thing, you have a limitation because so many things to learn. You dropped that. You understood subconscious limitation stops you. Yoga, meditation, this knowledge gave you that understanding. So you drop that limitation. Now suddenly many things are happening for you. You're traveling around, you're learning so many things. You say, my life changed. As miraculously I'm doing so many things. When yoga is introduced, meditation is introduced, everything shifts. You start operating in an energy mind concept. Energy is infinite, body is tiny. So body mind tiny experience, energy mind unlimited experience. That's what it is saying. Is that then we call it miraculous experience. The last thing difference is that when we come to that conclusion that I am the energy minded person, then infinity is there everywhere. Infinite knowledge, infinite frequency worlds, infinite possibilities exist, infinite thought exists to create. Infinite knowledge leads to infinite thought, leads to infinite experience. That's all it is. So life becomes unbounded. Okay, I would like you to write in the chat, how many of you are like living a life unbounded? You don't think now that anything is not possible. You only tune in and say, do I want it? How many people live that way? Please write in the chat. You only tune in and say, do I need that experience? You now don't have any more doubt that that's not possible, this is not possible. Even if you wanted to bring meditation to every person on the planet, do you have that sense of understanding It's called abundance mindset. Do you have a sense of understanding that yes, it's possible to bring a change to everyone that can come? That means infinite possibilities exist in ways. All right, friends. So coming back and summarizing this, it's like this. The six principles, when they understood, we know that when there's nothing, something is going to get created. In life, when you think that everything is lost, nothing is there for you, something can get created. Everything comes from nothing. So patiently there. Death challenges of any kind there's no concept of death. You're permanently, eternally there. And so then you have all the time on your hand. No need to hurry and worry about anything. All right. Patriji used to say, no worry, no hurry, but don't waste time. Principle. Eternity. Third, there's no luck. It's all creation. You change, you go into that poor concepts thinking, oh, they're very lucky, golden spoon, that's why they're doing. You drop that. That makes you helpless. Instead, when you say, okay, my self-made, I create. And how do I create my thought and feeling? So do that. Am I learning? Problems become learnings at that point. Failures are nothing but a stepping stone for success. We understand this to an extent. And then, dear friends, ordinary life then becomes miraculous life. When you are able to stay through challenges, learning, then you become miraculous. When the stone is being sculpted by the sculptor, one stroke, second stroke, third stroke, fourth stroke, fifth stroke, what is happening? You know, it is a beautiful example. Suddenly, the stone turns into a beautiful Buddha statue. Amazing, isn't it? Wow, what a beautiful statue come out. That's what happens to us. We are being chipped and chipped and chipped and chipped. Problem after problem after problem. Reshma knows. Priyanka knows. Everybody knows problems come. They're there making and molding me to become a great person. We understand this. So then we become something, we experience something miraculous, beautiful at some point, dear friends. Ordinary life becomes miraculous. I think this is the one. Okay, there it goes. And then so then limited life becomes unlimited life, unbounded life. Right, friends? So thank you very much for joining and understanding this important science. Now, a few books that can help in this process are any life after life books. Directly on the six laws, you won't, but a lot of literature around incarnation and karma. So read books can start with one of the recommended books, which is Brian Weiss, Many Lives, Many Masters. Michael Newton, Journey of Souls, Destiny of Souls, 2 books is written. Great starting point. Peter Ridgely, Your Soul's Journey is a great starting point. And of course, one of the books recommended, Conversation with God by Neil Donald Walsh, has already introduced some of these concepts in a beautiful way. It already introduced the concepts. In a way, it's related to our day-to-day life. So these are some starting points for us to start. And then those who are already advanced meditators, let's connect on these more in the Amrit program. Later, no, not in February, it's in March. There's an Amrit program, 5 days. We'll connect on these concepts, a little more advanced, deeper, and then go from there. So thank you. I have I'm one of our masters here, Raj, and we are in Delhi and doing a lot of, we are inviting many people. We are doing, in preparation for GCML, we will have his sharing. We take after a short break, and those of you plan time, we've exceeded, so feel free to leave, but we'll listen to Raj shortly after a short break. Some music. What, Priyanka? Pressure. Okay. No mind.
Everybody.
Go. I also like to switch the context from our mind.
You're my life, you're my breath, you're a smile, you're my guest. You're the earth, you're the sun, you're the grass, you are love. You're my hands, you're a bug, you're my eyes, you're a hug. You're the light in the dark, you're the spark, you are fun. You're
Okay. Yes.
So happy morning to all. I also enjoyed Chandra Sir's session for the last almost 1 hour. A lot of learning, a lot of understanding, trying to, change the way we live and the way we think. Yeah, it's a wonderful journey. In Delhi, we are here to invite a few of our guest of honors and other dignitaries and others. So we are tonight planning to go to Rishikesh, and we are having very good conversation about how to carry on ourselves with
Okay, come forward. They're saying your voice is low.
yeah, voices. Happy morning to all. So it's been a good understanding of what Chandra sir was teaching for the last. I've been with him in the last 1 hour. So a lot of new learning and a lot of new understanding, and
Good.
yeah. So whenever I'm traveling with Chandra sir, I get more understanding, which I try to implement in my day-to-day life. So still I have many doubts to get clear, and always when I meet, I get it clear and try to adapt those things. And
Good experience.
yeah, my
Please introduce
experience.
yourself.
Yeah. So I'm Rajkumar from Coimbatore. So we are in basically in cotton renewable energy business. So I'm meditating for the last 5.5 years, from 2020 May, June. So initially I was introduced by my good friend Balu from Coimbatore, who was a friend for Dr. D.R. Karthikeyan sir and SVB sir. So from initially I was not a regular practitioner of meditation, but over a time, over a 2-3 months period, I started meditating on a very regular basis, and
Louder.
and started experiencing many beautiful things in my life. So by way of meditation, I could see a lot of good things happening in every aspect of my life. My health improved, my business improved, my relationship others improved. I became more compassionate, more composed. So I really thought meditation is the only way we can uplift ourselves in our lives. So from there on, I started surrendering to the process, and whenever I face challenges, I leave it to the higher mind to deal with it. And yeah, it's been a beautiful journey, and it has become a part of my life. I don't miss a day in meditating.
What health challenges?
So basically, during my those times, during from 2016 or so I started having a lot of palpitations, anxiety issues due to business tensions and other things, which through many ways I tried my best, and I could not overcome that. And after regular practice of meditation, I saw that dissolving automatically. Then before, I had a very strong feeling that whenever I get palpitation and this thing, I'll be rushing to the hospital to that was the only way you can come out of the issue. But now I saw it dissolved automatically. So whenever now also when I feel stressed, I go into 30, 40 minutes of meditation, I see that, dissolving. Then the aspect of business also, we were able to, before that, I had a very strong conviction that only through very hard work and persistent efforts, you are able to get things done. But I could see a major shift in that thing pattern by aligning to this universe, this consciousness. So you create a context of universe helping you in every way. So we were able to do a very big, good amount of expansions in all our businesses, and certain
300%, 200%, if you had to put in a percentage terms across overall.
So, renewable business, if you can,
Okay,
so almost, so almost 300%. And for example, we are into environmental related business, carbon credit business. We started only in 2021. Right now, of course, our people say we are, as per data, we do 8%, 8.1% of all India carbon credit sales. So even I'm just attending only once in a month, the monthly MRM. So I'm also amazed to see how it's happening. It's really miraculous, and it's a good journey. And so, so we are.
So when you say you align to the universal principles, give an example. What are you doing? You said, okay, I have to work really hard. I know you work hard, but then there is something beautiful happening. You're seeing that a lot of unexplainable, miraculous growth happening. You say there is some change you brought in. What is that change? You said then I align to the universal principles. Like means what? Give an example.
So most of the things I feel that it is already what I've dreamt of. What was the vision? So already I feel that it has already come into my life. So I'm not thinking from the thought of lack. So on an abundant state, when you start thinking that I've already received it, that so from lack you can never create abundance. So that understanding I've got it. So lack only creates lack. So lack clearly tells you that you're not it there. So now from a thought of abundance, I've started practicing in the last few years, and I feel that I've already received and feel with that emotions, not only thinking, feel that it has already happened. So that I'm practicing and visualizing.
So suppose you are going into a permission, you want to get a government permission. Everybody told you that it's going to take 1 year, you may not get it. No, you are going in at the same time you visualize and you feel that this has happened for you very quickly. That's imagination you're doing, your feeling is bound to happen for you and it is happening. You don't take any question. So that's the feeling with which you operate.
Yeah.
Even somebody says, no, come after 3 months, you don't go into that mode and say, oh, now it's going to take time.
Yeah.
You'll say, it is happening to you.
Yeah, it is happening, so for a few projects which we are doing, so a few challenges which we receive at that point of time, I also get sometimes stressed up. But over when I'm in meditating, so I recollect why did I do that. So I again change my thought pattern that no, so again going into the mode of that universe is there for you to help, and tune to that understanding that it'll happen. So not resist. So it is for a reason. Uh, uh, that is the understanding which I have at this point currently. So with that thought process, I move on.
Okay. What role do you play at foundation?
So for the GCML, like Ms. Nahendra and me, we are trying to get funds from the corporates to see that to meet our budgets for this GCML and to spread meditation. I'm coming from Coimbatore to spread, take this message across to in and around Coimbatore and those regions.
We need your book because you said yesterday, I have to write my book because so many things are effortlessly happening and they're flowing. So can we get your book written? So many out there, so many people who want to entrepreneurs, want to become entrepreneurs, want to do things. And if you say meditation is making it effortless, flowing, because you're also flowing it in abundance principles, that you visualize and dream and imagine things have happened. Then you also, in early occasion, you said, when things don't happen, you surrender and say, okay, now I've done everything I can. Then consciousness, now it's you. Now you play it out for me, right? You said that also in the past.
Correct.
That's it. There are two principles. Think and feel and imagine things are happening to you, no matter what the current situation is. And second, convince yourself that you've done everything possible from your side, and then leave the rest to the field to make it happen for you. You called it, I remember these words, I leave it to the greater mind or something like that.
Yeah, I leave it to the greater mind. It has greater plans.
It has greater plans. So you think X, they'll give you 5X.
Yeah. So actually, I was very intensively into cotton businesses. So in the last 15 months, I left cotton business, which I never even dreamt of.
That you will never leave that at all.
Leave that at all, because it was very critical and it was very intense, 12, 13 hours minimum, and very intense business. And I started it from, the scratch, 25 years.
So 25 years you worked.
And
Start from scratch. You never thought you can ever leave that as your, because you developed it.
Yeah.
Your life is full of that business.
Well, business, and last 15 months.
Meditation, I know you mentioned this a few years ago. I started the meditation slowly shifting. But that awareness to step out of what we are doing day in and day out, the same thing, go and do, and then think that it's just impossible for me to experience anything other than what I'm doing, is always the difference. And for example, I'll tell you another example. Many people, when they have a situation where they may be having a caring sick person at home, they have to care for them. Their situation, they've got kids in the situation, the husband is traveling, and so they do day in and day out the same thing all the time. And there's so much in that activity, they feel, it's not for me, no way. Your mind is full of so much of that you just feel there's no way out, and that's the only thing that you will be doing, because you just don't see what's beyond, because that's what is called we're stuck up with that limited thinking, limited understanding that that's all is possible, right? But meditation helps us to step out of that thing. It helps you to start to dream something beyond. And then as you dream beyond, as that comes, and as you feel the possibilities, then you get the courage to leave this, and then leave in a good way. You don't just drop it.
Not drop.
You know that. Leave in a good way. You're transitioning in a good way.
And it's happening, and it's I'm unable to believe it still, but it has happened, and with smooth transition. So good.
Wonderful. Thank you, Raj. Some beautiful messages that so Raj is the master meditation, or any otherwise, some of the core qualities we connect to the law of reincarnation. You start from where you left. We come to exhibit these qualities of consciousness, humbleness. Is any God anywhere arrogantly showing up? Humbleness. That is there. No matter how much they know, they're always there, beautifully just there. Wanting to help, there. Now having understood, and so he's playing a role of steering council member for the Quantum Foundation, and taking on some of the larger tasks, fund development, fundraising, wanting to introduce in Coimbatore, wanting to support in general activities overall, to see that how the foundation grows, how meditation is given. It's not about foundation growth, it's about how meditation can be given extensively to everywhere. So thank you so much for all that you are doing and helping. And it's a great opportunity to interact with masters when they travel. So he's traveling. I don't know his calendar, he has to. But if you make friends with him, you can catch hold of him. Those if you have some business interests, those if you just want to be a great human, service interest, where he does a lot of service, interact with him by taking. We always encourage to meet and interact. How do you interact? Here, like this, opportunities are there. Those of you listening get motivated, you can, of course, reach out for his number. If he's got consent, we'll give that number. Then you talk. Second, he's going to be there in GCML conference for all days. So we put these physical events because many masters come, so we get to know each other, learn from each other, make some good friends. All right. That's why these events are very, very beautifully helping, because then you meet people who really are living that knowledge, and so you oscillate and make friendship with them, my friends. So thank you. Thank you, Reshma. Any things from your side that you need to speak about, or announcements?
No announcements, sir. But yeah, spiritual laws, I mean, listening every time gives a lot of clarity. Today I came up with some 2, 3 questions to ask, but it is all answered in this spiritual laws when you were speaking about. And Raj, sir, your experience added like a practical example to whatever sir has spoken. Thank you so much for whatever you're doing for the foundation. We're grateful, a lot of learning from you. Thank you so much, Chandra sir.
Wonderful. Yes, Nidhi madam, you said something.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Like I was feeling like you're saying my thoughts. Whatever I'm thinking, it is coming. Answers are coming. The thoughts are being expressed. I also felt the same. Like it's all happening automatically.
What
So
is that?
yeah.
Say it again. What is the thought you had? which
I
said?
had a thought of like we need to connect and share and learn from everyone. Like we get such a good community here that we can learn and share and grow a lot with people around here. All the meditators and so high energies and learnings. So yes, that was the thought which I had. And you shared that we can connect to Sir. So able to listen to Raj Sir today. So yeah.
Awesome. Great. So shall we conclude here, Reshma?
Yes, sir. It's 8 o'clock. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, dear friends. So this week, Sunday, I won't be there. Okay, but we will get an opportunity to interact more around this subject, more questions. There are always opportunities. The best for this to be explored further, the concepts of this week, particularly the 6 spiritual sense laws, the best platform to explore this further is the Amrit program, which is happening in March 3rd week, with 1 week of 5 days of meditations, 4 to 7 in the morning, and then some time for understanding some of these aspects. So 5 days every day, Monday to Friday, we will meditate, India 4 to 7, and then half an hour, 40 minutes of interactions, and we can explore this more. Please do your homework and then have questions and all of that. We'll discuss there further. But this program has many more topics, and we've got few more days left. And so I'd like to give introductions to all of them so that you can go off and then do your own research to come to the greatest conclusions of your own, of where you want to be within them, right? With respect to the spiritual laws, we're going to have a concept of purpose next week, purpose of life. And then talk about service. You're inspired and you want to give this knowledge, and talk about what are the ways you can connect and serve. So all of those will be there into the next week. So thank you. So have a wonderful day.
You're my life, you're my breath, you're a smile, you're my guest. You're the earth, you're the sun, you're the grass, you are love. You're my hands, you're a bug, you're my eyes, you're a hug. You're the light in the dark, you're the spark, you are fun. You're my mom, you are water, you're the stars, you're my daughter. You're my friend till the end, you're my dreams, you're my father. You're the ants on the ground, the miracles that surround. I'm feeling it all around, the hemisphere in the clouds. You're my pain, you're my sorrow, you're my hope for tomorrow. You're the strength when I'm hollow, you're the path that I follow. You're the blessings that exist, the small things that are bliss. The gift to realize that everything
all that I am, all that